Nick. I represent the wrestler professionally known as Sid Vicious. Today, Sid has an announcement on his future in the wrestling business, and wants to be able to make that announcement himself. Afterwards, we will be taking questions, and at this time, I'm proud to welcome the four-time world champion, Sid Vicious.
Hey, thanks to have me. And what I have to announce is pretty simple, guys. Dave and the board members of the NWA have called me, and we've talked about it. I think we've come to an agreement that I will start up with the NWA. My first shot will be on April the 18th in Rhode Island. The next one will be April the 19th in Millwood, New Jersey.
All right, thank you, Sid. So once again, Sid Vicious will be starting with the NWA on the 18th and 19th in Rhode Island and New Jersey, respectively. Also on the line, we have Ed Truman with the National Wrestling Alliance, who at this time would like to make a few comments about this announcement.
Ed, thank you all. NWA is proud to be able to give a platform like this to a major personality like Sid. The relationship between us is for multi-dates. And again, that relationship starts at the NWA Showcase tapings, as Sid said, at April 18th at the Twin Rivers Casino in Lincoln, Rhode Island, the 19th in Wildwood, New Jersey at the Oceanfront Arena. More dates will follow. We'll now take your questions.
In the interest of time, I ask that you please keep your questions related to the topic and the announcement of Sid Vicious joining the National Wrestling Alliance. We'll start with Steve Gerlich. Steve, are you there?
Yes, Sid?
Yes.
Yes, first off, I'd like to ask you, I heard you do an interview just recently. You were talking about making a comeback, and one of the questions was, would you come back to either TNA or WWE? And one of the things that you said at that time was that you wouldn't want to come back to, or you wouldn't want to go to TNA because it wouldn't give you the showcase, it wouldn't give you the type of arena you wanted to work in. You wanted to work in front of a very large audience of fans, such as a WrestleMania. So with that said, why would you go back to this route of maybe the smaller arenas to make your comeback?
There's one good reason for that. Then the NWA is not just located down in Florida. It's located in Puerto Rico, Mexico, Australia, Japan, Europe, and also the United States. And also, it gives me a bigger, format or a bigger podium to promote myself. Me and some of the guys in the NWA, we got that understanding. If I get that chance to go back with Vince, we'll work out a deal and I'll move on. But the NWA right now gives me the best chance to further my future.
Okay, all right. Your ultimate goal is then to get back to either Vince McMahon, WWE, or go into TNA?
Well, that, or, also, and we've talked to some of the guys in the NWA, I'm never going to say never, and you never say never. This thing could really take off, and if it does, it could make me happy enough to stay here. But my ultimate goal is to get back to WWE.
All right, Steve, thank you for your question. At this time, we'll go to Keith Lipinski.
Hi, Sid. Keith Lipinski, Figure 4 Weekly. I guess my first question is, how are you doing physically? How's the ankle? And I know you've had a few matches back in Canada and stuff like that. What should people expect to see when they see Vicious 2008 working for the National Wrestling Alliance?
Well, everywhere I've been, and that's from Philly to up in Ottawa, all the way, Connecticut, worked for Michael Bryan. It's like the show in Ottawa, I worked for one of the guys from TNA. There's a bunch of guys, I don't want to go through all their names, but they said that my match was the best match of the night. My condition is better than it's ever been. My leg is 100%. I run bleachers every day. It's just, I'm ready to go.
Who in the NWA are you looking forward to facing? Alliance said.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm using everywhere I've gone, and I've said this every night before I wrestled, is I'm putting myself on the platform. I put on the people, let them make their decision to see if I'm ready to come back or not, or ever come back.
Well, Pensky, thank you for your question. At this time, we'll move on to Casey, and I apologize, Casey, I did not catch your last name.
Oh, Casey Osborne from the Business Show. My question is, what would it mean to you to hold having held the other previous world titles mentioned earlier across the WCW, what would it mean to hold the NWA world title?
Well, to me, when I think of wrestling, I think of Harley Race, and I think of the NWA. This guy went around. He's probably my favorite wrestler of all time. I look forward to going to different towns, different parts of the country, different countries, and representing the NWA and maybe being the champ.